Checking here, bringing you another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we're going to be finally recapping the Forlorn Hope operation from the other day. I know I made a video about being kicked out of the task force yesterday and all that stuff. If you ask me what's going on with the task force things right now, I have no idea, but I'm just happy to be able to bring you guys this wrap-up video. So obviously we saw my attack on green court, so we're just going to be going over everyone else's attacks here. So right now we've got Major Y Pants going in on Tapir. And this is a standard base, guys. There's nothing new about Tapir in Forlorn Hope. I think the statues are adjusted. I'm not sure if they're easier or more intense than they usually are in Massive Attack. But I know the statues in Hardcore, they were about 400% building health, and it was a lot less for the building damage too. So that's just something to take note of, guys. Like obviously all the shield generators make it like insane health, but they are kind of like that's their way of balancing it, right? Like they add in the barbed wire and the new crazy layouts and stuff, and they offset that by, in their minds, by lowering the statues. But it doesn't make sense to me because people are still going to use Zukas, right? Like it's not like the building health goes from 900% to 400%, and now you can use like all tanks. Like you're still using Zukas, you're just doing it in a different way. So that's why I've kind of changed my opinion on the barbed wire. I actually do like it, how it seems to be going, like how it's been implemented into the new operation bases and stuff, because it's not like a direct nerf to the Zukas. It's not really like changing any it's not really changing the meta of how Zukas are used in operations. It's just a new thing to overcome. It's just like new strategies are coming out of it. Like it's just cool. It's like a new thing that that has to be planned for and stuff. So I'm kind of liking it. I know I said at first that I hated the idea, and that was mainly because I thought they were going to severely reduce the statues and all that stuff to make operations easier for other troop combinations, because that is what they said, right? Like they wanted operation balancing was what it was called. We saw that in the boombox, that they wanted to quit Zukas being used exclusively in high level operations. Excuse me. But obviously that's not what's happening. That's not how it's going to work. Zukas are still going to be, of course, they're still going to be the best being used. It's just we got to find out different ways for it now, right? And so I think that's just exciting in itself. So we're gonna skip ahead to the next one. That was Nick and Knight, and I got some people writing in the comments like, "Oh, it's like the famous Nick and Knight." Like, no, it's just it's some guy that made his name Nick and Knight, but he's really skilled, and I love watching his attacks. They're always super entertaining. Can always learn a few things from him. He's one of the best players I've seen, honestly, up to this point that I've played with in a task force. I don't know if I put him right up there with Zmot and Crazy Turtle, but he's definitely knocking on the door. So it's definitely cool to be in the same task force as guys with those kinds of skill and stuff. Okay, so we're diving into the next attack here, guys. But yeah, okay, so here's the first one on Hardcore. So basically what I've seen from VN United and other YouTube channels that have shown videos on this is basically Hardcore goes, you kind of use a few attacks to clear out the rocket launchers, and you see right there he's in the barbed wire and tries to out heal and just doesn't really work. That, and he was getting touched up by the rocket launchers, so that wasn't really a great attack to show, but sorry, what was I saying? But yeah, it looks like Hardcore is basically you take out a few different sections of rocket launchers, and then it kind of opens up the entire base that you can just kind of you can just kind of walk through, and then you can clear out the shield generators. Now you do have to be careful of the hot pots, of course, because you can't actually well, not that you would GBE them anyways, but it is kind of deceiving how much range they have. So it's definitely good to be aware of exactly where they are, because like if they look up for 1 second, like boom, your Zukas are just gone. So that's just something to be aware of. But basically, it's it looks like 4 or 5 attacks that you can that people can finish this in. But yeah, they'll take out different sections of rocket launchers, like this guy's doing right here, and then basically try to walk around the barbed wire, or you can go through it. So it actually is a thing. I mentioned it the other day in a video on the last one about Forlorn Hope. The barbed wire you can shock and walk through. Now you still get the slowdown from walking through it, but you don't take any damage. So obviously for something like this, that's super helpful, because instead of having to walk all the way up to the top and around, you can just shock and go right through it when you're going for the kill and there's nothing in range. So you'll save a lot of GBE doing it like that. Okay, so we got Bradley here. I'm not sure if they actually took it down. I forgot to check in the log. So I think he's going to take out those rocket launchers up in the middle area there, and then maybe flare back and take out some cells or something along those lines. Now it is pretty tough to. He did a really good job there, because it's difficult to get the Zookas to walk straight through all the barrels, because like you see when they walk through, it's like a snake trail, right? Like they kind of go every which way, so it's really tough to keep them under one smoke when that happens. So he did a really good job there being able to control them, and the rocket launcher just touched them up there. So you can actually, it seems like the Zookas shoot over the barbed wire pretty well, depending on, like, from where all the defenses have been spaced. Like if they're just one or two sections behind it, which all the rocket launchers are in that square, you can actually shoot right over top of the barbed wire without having to go through it. Alright, so he's bringing some heavies with him this time. We'll see what kind of work he can get done here, guys. Speeding it up here, just because I don't want this to be too long. But you see basically the idea that I was talking about, where you're just taking out compartments of rocket launchers, and then kind of just like you see he's got a bit of a path cleared once he takes out that mortar, and probably those that grappler too would need to go. And then the next guy can then just kind of shock the barbed wire and then walk up through that, and then clear like you can clear a good amount of shield gens. Obviously, like you can get 6 to 10, something like that in there, and then you'll be in pretty good space, because that'll be about half the shield gone, right? So you'll be down to about 20 or so million, and then with the next attack, if your guys are wide open, then you can usually finish from there. So I don't know, it's just cool to see how like the different planning and strategies that go into it. So this is a monster. Look at this humble pie, guys. My god, look at all the mines and stuff. So I think what he's doing here is just farming force points, because at this point the OP was pretty well lost, so we're just trying to make up what we could here. So he takes out that rocket launcher, and then I'm assuming he's just going to take out like 1 million cells, which does look kind of cool with all like the explosions and stuff, but we won't play through all this, guys. So that was basically the attack here, just farming force points on all the cells. Alrighty, and then we got this guy. Okay, this is probably going to be another force point attack here. He's just got the grenadiers loaded up, and it looks like he's going to be going on to. Okay, he's just going to throw them in the middle and then just take out as many cells as he needs to. So that's going to wrap it up for the Forlorn Hope Part 2 attacks in the 10-man, guys. Obviously, it's a little bit too much to take on in the 10-man. Oh yeah, okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little chat sequence. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the wrap up of Forlorn Hope. I don't know what's going on with task forces and stuff. These guys seem like they're like we've made amends or whatever. So maybe I'll stick around, maybe not. Who knows? Tune in the next time to find out, guys. And make sure to leave a like on the video if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you in the next one, guys. Chicken out.